Hi, it's Terri Savelle Foy, your cheerleader of dreams. In this video today, you're going to learn not only how to trust God for your dreams, but also trust His timing. I'm going to show you how to stay focused during the waiting time. Now first, let me do a quick quiz with you to see if you know the answer to this question. Duncan Hines of the famous Duncan Hines cake mix was how old when he began making this box of deliciousness? Was he 42, 57, or 73? I'll let you know in just a minute. But remember, don't look at the years you've lost. Look at the years you've got left and live your dreams, right? Oh, and real quick, would you take a quick second and subscribe to this channel? If it's helping you to go after your dreams, when you subscribe, that means so much to me, and I just want to say thank you for doing that. Okay, you know, we all have things we're believing for. Dreams to come to pass, a promotion at work, a health issue to improve, a financial breakthrough, and we wonder, why is it taking so long? That's when we have to trust God's timing is better than ours. You know, I heard this story about a young man in 1960 who opened up a pizza place in Michigan. He was an orphan who'd been raised in a Catholic orphanage all of his life, but he had this dream to be a success. So he went to the bank and he borrowed $900 and started a small pizza place. But so many things were going wrong. One bad event after another. I mean, his business partner got into his account, stole his entire life savings. In 1968, a fire burned his building to the ground, and the insurance company would barely give him anything from the fire. I mean, just like pennies on the dollar. One thing after another, which could have just made him think, this must not be God's plan for my life, or I would have been successful by now. Instead, he stayed committed to the dream that God placed in his heart. Remember, God's delays are not God's denials, right? One day he had an idea. It was a God idea. Instead of people having to come to him to get their pizza, he decided to take the pizza to the people. He came up with the first delivery service, and you know, it's called Dominos Pizza. Tom Monahan started with one restaurant and $900, and today there's over 6,000 Domino's all over the world. I've even had Domino's in Paris, France. I'm pretty sure it was a Domino's. And you may wonder, why did you eat Domino's if you're in Paris? But that's not my point. In fact, a few years ago, Tom sold his company for $1 billion. And I might add, he's helping children across the globe who are underprivileged. Here's my point today. Don't give up on the dream in your heart, and don't trade your deadline for God's timing. You know, just because things don't happen when and how you thought they would doesn't mean they won't happen. Stay focused. Trust His timing is better than your plan. You know, one of my favorite scriptures you've probably heard me quote is Habakkuk 2:2, which says to write the vision and make it plain. But verse 3 says, the vision is yet for an appointed time. So that means if there's a right time, then any other time is the wrong time. God will always be right on time, and when you know that, it helps you not get frustrated during the waiting time. In fact, the Lord said to me years ago, when I know you're ready, get ready. You've heard me say, Coach Wooden said, when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. So let me ask you, what are you doing while you wait for your dream? What are you doing to show God you're preparing, you're getting ready, you trust Him? Let me tell you what happened in my life recently as I was waiting on some of my big dreams to manifest. On October 1st, the day after my birthday, I was getting ready to speak at Paula White's conference. I was thinking about a few things I've asked God for that haven't manifested yet, and I just felt in my spirit I need to build my faith. I don't need Tony Robbins right now. I like Tony. I don't even need Jim Rohn. I need faith. So I decided to do a few things. Number one, choose one minister to listen to for 30 days to build my faith. Number two, I thought, I'm going to journal what I learned from them. Whatever stands out to me, I'm going to write it down. Number three, I just thought, I'm going to start my day in prayer. I changed my routine. Instead of going to the gym first, which I've done for 20 years, I'm going to start my day in prayer and then go to the gym. Number four, I said, I'm going to look for ways to just go out of my way to build my faith. For example, I stayed over at Paula White's conference to hear her speak instead of flying home right after my session because I thought, I got to hear her. I got to get around somebody with big faith. I drove to Houston, Texas one weekend to go hear T.D. Jakes preach. I took dream drives to go look at my dream house that isn't even for sale yet. I went to Walgreens and I enlarged some of my dreams on these canvas prints just so I could surround myself with vision. In the evenings, I would turn the TV off and just listen to messages and take notes and write down what I was learning. Well, I can't even tell you how big my faith is right now. Why? Because faith comes by hearing, right? Well, one day in prayer, I was journaling and I just heard the Lord say this. He said, I see you being proactive and I love it. And then he said, apply this to every dream in your heart. He said, you know what being proactive means? Having extreme faith, having the audacity to believe. Proactive. I started thinking about that word. So I looked it up. Listen to what proactive means. It's a person who's always looking into the future in order to be prepared for anything. It means acting in anticipation of future changes. It also means to prepare for an expected occurrence. Think about those definitions. To look, expect, act, and prepare. Look, expect, act, prepare. That spells leap, right? Then I heard this in prayer. The Lord said to me, faith and preparation will bring the opportunity you've asked me for. He said, you will be amazed at what I do for someone who's ready. Then he said this, if you asked me for it, prepare for it. Did you hear that? So real quick, I want you to have the very points that God showed me to be proactive. The entire list is in your free download this week. I listed the exact keys God gave me in prayer on how to get ready, how to prepare for every dream he's put in your heart. Now, I also added the 10 scriptures that my team and I are declaring all year long to get our minds ready for action and to be ready to seize the opportunities when God brings it. Now, I want you to have this download so you can do the same thing. 2022 will be very intentional for me, and I want it to be for you too. So just click the link in the description and get that free download right now. Now, one of the keys the Lord showed me is to look. Look where you want to go. Remember, being proactive is a person who's always looking into the future. So what is that? It's vision. Do you have your dreams and goals in writing? Are they written down anywhere? Remember when God said, when I know you're ready, get ready? You know, I love this story of a friend of mine, Courtney. This was years ago. She heard me teach this message about when I know you're ready, get ready. And she was expecting twins. Well, one day after church, my dad walked up to her and he said, Courtney, when you pick out the beds for your twins, let me know. He said, I'd like to buy them for you. She said, Mr. Savelle, hold on. She ran to the car, got her dream book, and showed him the very beds written down with the price. My dad got his checkbook out, wrote the amount, and her dream was checked off. What happened? She was ready. Another key the Lord showed me is to take action to build my faith by hearing God's word intentionally. Now, let me explain. You've got to be in the right environment for your faith to grow and flourish, right? You know, I've got some examples here, but you think about a lion is more powerful than a fish, right? But not if you put him underwater because he's out of his environment. You put that lion, as mighty as he is, in the deepest ocean for 5 minutes and he's going to drown. But you put the fish in the exact same place and he'll thrive. Why? Because he's in the right environment to flourish. Well, see, you've got to be in the right environment for your faith to grow and flourish. How? Faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. So what does that mean? Well, you know, maybe God leads you to do what I did, to get a journal, to choose one minister, to listen to them for 30 days without skipping a day, even if it's 5 minutes, and journal something you learn. I'm telling you, your faith is going to grow so high that there is no force from hell that can stop you from believing in your dream. Another key I want to share real fast, the Lord showed me to be proactive this year, is to prepare practically. You know, I heard Patrick Bet David tell a story about when he was in the Army. He said his buddy started investing $25 a week. And he said, Patrick, you should do this. Patrick said, no, that's not going to make a difference. But his friend just kept preparing for his future. He went from $25 to $50 to $75 a week. 3 years later, he had $18,000 set aside for when he got out of the Army. He was proactive. He was ready to start his life. Patrick said, I had nothing. He said, I spent it all on junk food and tequila. What do you need to do to show God you're preparing, you're getting ready, you're taking action in the direction of your dreams? You know, one of the greatest keys to success is to act as if you have what you want to have. Remember, God said faith without action is useless. And remember this, your behavior is a predictor of your future. Now, I wish I had time to give you all the points the Lord showed me, but like I said, it's all right here in your free download. So just click the link in the description, get your copy right now, use it, check it off, watch what God is going to do this year in your life. Now, let me close out by answering the question to our little quiz about the age of Duncan Hines, the famous Duncan Hines cake mix. How old was he when he began making this little treat from heaven? Was he 42, 57, or 73? Duncan Hines was 73 years old. What am I saying? Don't ever give up on your dream, no matter how long it takes to see it manifest. Don't forget, I'm cheering you on to live your dreams. Hey YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and to get more inspirational content, click one of these videos right here. And remember, I'm cheering you on to live your dreams.